So what I didn't mention with the last video is that in the Mahalakshmi temple, they had a lot of flowers and idols that you could purchase that were right next to the temple itself, so that way you could have some kind of offering. So the next place I went to right afterwards was the Haji Ali Mosque, and the mosque was not even 10 minutes away. I actually asked a taxi driver if there's any issues with Hindus and Muslims in terms of the fact that they don't let Hindus enter, and I even have a thread that was given at the temple, and he looked at me like I was crazy, saying, why would that be an issue? So I went there without any problem. Lining up in terms of when you're walking to the mosque, they have a lot of people trying to sell you, like in the Mahalakshmi temple it was flowers. Over there in the Haji Ali Mosque it was these large pieces of cloth, which decorative pieces of cloth that had prayers written on them in Arabic. So they were essentially for an offering that you would give when you walk into the mosque. Now, the way that they get you to buy these is that they rent you a scarf to cover your head. So for people like myself who are foreigners and forget that you have to cover your head when you walk into the mosque, they gave these and or rented them at least, and you had to buy one in order to do that. So I bought one. It only cost something like less than $2, but it's a lot for Mumbai. So it wasn't too bad. And then I walked up to the mosque. Now the mosque has a path that has water on. It's essentially through the ocean, and so it has water coming at each side. And one of the funniest things that I saw, at least this is what's so great about Mumbai and what's great about India, is that there was a large fallen piece of building that had landed in the ocean. And these kids, who look between the ages of 9 and 15, were, because they had nothing better to do with their time, they were seeing how many people they could get onto that fallen piece of building without falling into the ocean. So they had at some point 7 or 8 of them just sitting there on there trying to talk to each other about, you get on that side and you get on that side, and that's how we're going to balance each other off. And then they'd fall and then they'd get back on, and that's what they did all day. So, and additionally, while I was going to the mosque, I also got completely drenched because the ocean was just, obviously waves were just splashing everywhere, and I was just drenched by the time I reached the mosque. Anyways, I covered my head with the rented scarf, and the way they had me bring it back is they all had a different color scarf. So the one that I got was pink, the next stall over was black, and the one over after that was blue, and they also tell you the stall number, so mine was number 7. So then I went down there and went into the mosque, and it was very different than the temple for another reason, that they organized, there are kids standing outside organizing shoes, and they were doing it for tips, so they kind of expected a couple rupees in order to organize your shoes. And when you came back, they gave it back to you, which I've never seen that in India. I don't know if they do this in all mosques. I haven't seen it in the ones in LA, but that's what happened. I went inside. They had a certain side for ladies and a certain side for men. So the side for ladies was off to the side, and it was much tinier, and that's where children went as well. And the men went to the main section. So that was it. That was the trip to the mosque. I did a quick prayer there, and then I headed out, and that's it. That was really it. And it's very interesting to be doing that. It's interesting that they were so close to each other and that it wasn't even a big deal. Of course, the relations between Hindus and Muslims is not supposed to be fantastic, so it was nice to see. It was really nice to see. That's it. See you later.